Oh, hello again, virtual friend. Good to see you again. How's your Monday been? It's been tough over here. I just got a shipment of new products, but I think I also got someone else's as well. There's some weird eggs encased in large canisters labeled "Do Not Open." Luckily, I've seen too many horror films to snoop any farther. I tape the boxes back up and place them out on the dock for the truck to pick back up. It's one thing to have the budget and accessibility to create vast open lands, backed by a team and publishers. But it's another to have true freedom to find a way to show your artistic compassion and express your emotions to the world. User-created art like mods, shorts, and even movies, just putting yourself out there is 90% of the battle. It's purely driven by compassion. Funds are either scrounged about or non-existent. It's all about your drive. You get what you give. Before a lot of the tools we have today like Blender, before Robot Chicken and YouTube gave us ideas and guidance, the main source for tuning an IP into your style was looking to Newgrounds for inspiration. A vast underground utopia where you can see all the hilarities like The Ultimate Showdown, Metal Gear Awesome, Madness Combat, Salad Fingers, or even Super Mario Reloaded. There wasn't a push for succeeding in the algorithm. There weren't 3.7 million videos being uploaded every day like YouTube is now. There wasn't an incentive for making money either. If you made something that people liked, it showed. People shared it with everyone they knew. Email, word of mouth, school computers, you name it. The world knew who you were for what you created. And that was special. These days, it's hard to find purpose without financial gain. It's hard to think about spending time in a hobby without feeling like, where is this going to get me in a year or two? Is this something I can afford to put my sweat, tears, and blood into? I mean, even though Newgrounds is still running this day, it's not the powerhouse it used to be. The content being put out does not have the same heart and soul you saw 15, 10, or heck even 5 years ago. If you want something to gain traction, you have to post it everywhere, endure the criticism, and others just trying to get a step ahead of you. Creating art doesn't feel like the finished product now. It just feels like the first step. Oh gosh. Virtuafriend, apparently someone opened one of the canisters on my dock. This could be a problem. I'll be right back. The first time I heard of Otaking was maybe 9 years ago with this short film titled TIE Fighter. Otaking Animation, Otaking 7707, or if you just call him Paul Johnson. Either way, the man, the myth, the legend creates retro 2D, late 80s and early 90s styled anime using older methods with tutorials littered between his projects. I remember watching his short film and thinking it was just someone on YouTube re-uploading some project I missed throughout the years. Like a special bonus feature from a Star Wars box set I missed. Oh boy, was I wrong. There's just something about the washed out but detailed animation style of the 80s that just explodes in expression and uproar. There's no speaking lines throughout the 7 minutes and 27 seconds. Just Imperial TIE fighters destroying rebel scum. Sure, the faces and movement can be uncanny at times, but you can pause it at any time and get a clear picture of exactly what's happening. These days, a lot of work is done by having keyframes or a start and an endpoint in animation, and then tween frames or in-between frames in the middle. That's why if you pause an anime fight nowadays, you see little detail, or like the character's body stretched to ungodly proportions. Even though it's costly work, Paul doesn't do this. If you know me, you know I'm an Alien fanatic. I grew up watching Alien and Aliens with my pops. We rarely found common ground, but you either put on Predator or the Aliens, and we can actually sit down for 2 hours without arguing. Since he makes a point to stay off of social media, I get to fill him in with all the fun tidbits of info, like the deleted scene with Burke's fate, or how in the first Alien movie, the Xenomorph was actually turning the Nostromo crew into eggs for the next sorry sucker to find. No matter how gruesome the movies are, it's always been a bonding experience for us. With Romulus coming out next month, I've been starving for any information. These days, it's hard to find out new details without being completely spoiled. Whether it's the final trailer showing the whole movie, or someone just leaking test footage for engagement, being a fanatic has its drawbacks. I mean, I just saw Deadpool and Wolverine, and a few moments were spoiled for me. All because some idiot wanted a few Twitter likes. I wasn't even searching for it, but I guess just because I interact with Marvel content here and there, it blew up on my page. Luckily for the alien community, between the LV426 subreddit and avpgalaxy.net, you'll never have to worry about any of that. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. The alien community just might be the last bastion of wholesomeness on the internet. Doesn't matter if it's considered non-canon, deleted scenes, even some of the, less liked movies. You never get stabbed with toxicity. And that's when I saw it. It wasn't on YouTube's recommended page or Twitter's long list of non-curated bot content, but on the subreddit, Alien Monday. After a little over a year since the initial trailer, the short movie was released. Described as such, the worst day of the week. Otaking returns with the more retro anime shading in this new chapter of a familiar tale. The crew of the Thanatos, I believe I'm saying that right, a remote mining ship at the edge of the galaxy discovers the dangers of undeclared cargo. The 19-minute and 28-second spectacle starts out with the tried and true method of showing our new home in space. The mining hauler flies by while it's on its way to its new location. 1 weekend, 3 crew members on board. I always love seeing cannon fodder for the xenomorph, but if alien isolation taught me anything, sometimes just knowing something is lurking around is more than enough to give you goosebumps. I cheesed at the images in the quarters, including Buckaroo Banzai, The Fly, and Planet of the Apes. The craziest thing about the Alien franchise is being able to pause any section of the crew's quarters and see that someone's actually living there, whether it's a mug left to a control box or a sketch notebook left beside the captain's chair. It adds to a sense of uneasiness, like the lights are still on, but everybody's vanished. As we slowly see the forgotten ship, our tour guide for this mini adventure is Technician Ashlyn. Conrad, the ship's AI, wakes her up just as we see her. Scarred on her arm with a badass mullet, she's the second to awake from their slumber. The time is 7:43, Monday, the 26th of April. But her colleague appears to be missing. I don't want to spoil it. I mean, come on, Virtuafriend. It's less than 20 minutes. You can skip the next drama dump on YouTube and watch it instead. What I really wanted to bring up was how this project made me feel. It's not often a fan project. I mean, heck, any new project of an established IP comes along and stays true to the material at hand. We don't need every question answered or backstory for every little detail. We need that heart and soul of the artist to show. It's often missing, but Paul was able to grasp that long-lost feeling. I had a conversation earlier this week with my folks about how hard it is just to turn something on and watch it these days. It's like everything as a series, 2-movie tie-in, and then even then, you need to read up on a dev team's interview to get the full picture. It's soothing just to click on a video and think, oh heck yeah, that's a xenomorph. You see an egg, and you know someone's chest cavity is about to be blown up. That feeling brought me back to the days of scouring Newgrounds as a kid. I felt like I just saw something amazing, and I wanted to share it with everyone. Looking through the Reddit posts for it, it was awesome just to see like-minded fans. There were some comparisons to stuff like heavy metal or rock and roll, but every single reply was giving praise. There wasn't anyone pushing it down or saying, well, if only he had a team. It was just showing appreciation for a fellow fan. And did I mention he dropped this on Alien Day? Look, when it comes down to it, it's not about Newgrounds, a wholesome community, or nostalgic animation. It's about doing what you love and not feeling pressured to get it out quick, or beating the algorithm, or just trying to make a buck. Nobody cares what the excuses are. No one cares what you went through to get here. No one cares if someone trashed on your ideas or previous endeavors. They care about you putting yourself out there and making something awesome. Your first project may not be a hit. Hell, I mean, your 100th project might just be as bad as your first. But you won't know until you try. A good thought means nothing unless you put the pen to the paper and start working. I can't wait till Paul or Otaking or whatever the hell you call him puts out another banger. But the same goes for you. We're all busy with our lives, and if you don't take a moment to stop and breathe, you'll miss it all. Not everything needs to be a calculated move. Not everything needs to make you a buck. You don't need to bash on others' work. Just enjoy little things that make you happy. Somebody will always be there to make another shitty sequel, but you could be the next one to break the mold. Give it a shot. I can't wait to see what you have in store. See you around, Virtual Friend.